Hello, I'm Ira Thor, Senior Director of University Communications at New Jersey City University and a member of the CSIDA Academic All-America Committee. And today I'm joined by senior women's swimmer Crile Hart from Pepper Pike, Ohio, and the Kenyon College Lords and Ladies, soon to be the Kenyon College Owls. Crile is your 2022 CSIDA NCAA Division III Women's At-Large Academic All-America Team Member of the Year. Incredible resume. Crile owns a 3.66 GPA, studying anthropology with a minor in studio art. This is her first career academic All-American nod, but the honors in the pool alone are jaw-dropping. A two-time NCAA Division III Swimmer of the Year. Crile is a career 28-time All-American, half of which have resulted in national championships. That's right. 14 national titles in just 3 years in the pool. That's including an incredible 6 national championships in 2022 alone. She won individual gold in the 100 butterfly and the 200 backstroke, and relay titles in the 200 individually medley, 200 medley relay, 200 freestyle relay, and 400 medley relay. And meanwhile, she set 4 records at this year's NCAA Division III National Championship. Crile, that's an incredible resume. On behalf of CSIDA, we congratulate you on this prestigious accolade. What was your reaction when you learned that you were going to be honored as the best of the best, the Academic All-American of the Year?
Well, first off, thank you. That was quite an introduction. Oh my God, I don't think I've ever heard it like all spilled out at once. So thank you. That's
what we do here at CSIDA.
But yeah, I'm so glad to be here talking to you. But yes, the honor. I remember getting the email and I was like, oh, what is this? And I was reading it. I was like, oh my God. I was outside, like in the sun, swimming. So, I mean, of course, swimming. But it just felt so like all of a sudden like a surprise. I was like, oh, what the heck? And then I read more and responded to the emails, and all of a sudden, I was like, wow. It just kind of made me smile. I was like, I don't know. It's just so nice to have like things pay off in the long run, like taking 4 years of academic school and then 1 year gap year and 4 seasons of swimming and a year of a gap year swimming. So 5 years together, but to work really hard through them all and then kind of come out the other end, not only with a national championship, but also just to be proud of myself in the classroom. It was really nice to hear. So thank you.
You're welcome. You've earned it. This is something that will be at the top of your resume for years to come, on top of all your athletic accomplishments. And what's really neat also is Kenyon celebrates having 2 swimmers this year being voted first team academic All-America. That is very hard to achieve. And yourself, alongside teammate Emmy Myris, also honored as a first team selection. So we know about the excellence of Kenyon in the pool, and we're going to talk about that more in a moment. But we may know a little bit less about the culture outside of the natatorium. Why has the program enjoyed so much success in the classroom?
In the classroom, I'd say something that I really found attractive about Kenyon when I was visiting and touring schools was like the size of the classroom. So like I had my smallest class was 5 students and my largest class was probably 25, maybe 30. So no matter what kind of class you're taking, it's going to be an intimate experience, and you're going to get to know your students and your fellow students and your teachers pretty well. And personally, I think that just fosters a really great environment for getting to know everybody and feeling comfortable asking questions that you might not know, or maybe you may be uncomfortable asking in like a larger group. And also just all of our coaches are Kenyon alums. So they all know the Kenyon academic ways. They've all done it. They're really great mentors in that aspect, and they know that school goes first. I mean, it's really refreshing to hear a swim coach who's there to push you to be your hardest in the pool say, no, school goes first before swimming. So not only were like the teachers very inviting and kind and just would listen to you and answer all of your questions, the students were also just kind of on the same page as you, just there to learn. In this like remote little hill in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, on this beautiful campus. And then when you were not in the classroom, when you were working out or maybe eating at the dining hall or work, whatever, people were also there just kind of to help promote you to be the best student that you could be, like maybe subconsciously. But I mean, it's such an intimate campus, and you're with all of your friends and all of your coaches and your teammates, and the teachers live like 15 minutes away and will like invite you to their house for dinner, like over the weekend, just to like have a chat with their fellow students that are friends. And everything's just so, it just feels like a great friendship, a great community. Everything there is just so, I don't know. Everyone's just so nice to each other. So it's hard not to like succeed and feel welcome there, especially in the classroom and also in the pool. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of my high school too. So shout out to Hawken. That's where I went to high school. But intimate size, classroom, all that stuff. Just, it really fosters a great learning environment.
Fun fact, this part of the program will one day end up in a Kenyon college commercial. So we got a little bit more for our money today during the interview. Great answer. Now, some history to share is that there have actually now been 24 Kenyon women swimmers that have now combined for 32 COSIDA Academic All-America Awards. On top of that, Crile is now the fourth Kenyon female swimmer to be named the COSIDA Academic All-America Team Member of the Year. So not only a great honor for you, it just builds upon the legacy that the program has. And, you know, for you, you know, individually, obviously a great honor, but what you guys did in the pool this year is simply remarkable. This program is arguably the best women's sports program in any sport in collegiate athletics. This March, Kenyon won its 24th NCAA team title in school history, remarkably the first since 2009, and it did so by ending a 10-year run for Emory as champions. And those 24 championships, that tops all women's programs in any sport, in any division of the NCAA. So that is incredible. And I'm sure, you know, for you, Crile, this has been a goal of yours since arriving on campus in 2018. Your team finished second at the championships in 2018 and 19, your freshman and sophomore years, only to have the championship canceled in 2020 and 2021 due to COVID. Can you describe the pride and joy that you and your teammates finally had when they were able to hoist that walnut and bronze trophy and know that they were the 2022 national champions?
Oh God. I mean, I've been like asked this question a few times since it happened. So it's reliving it is just always so fun. But what I always say is I kind of go back to my junior year when everything was hit and things were canceled and the world was just kind of quiet for a bit. And we learned what we appreciated in one another and in the world, and just kind of reset us all. And including myself and a bunch of other teammates, we took a gap year during the COVID year. So I did freshman, sophomore, junior year, and then I took a full year off, and then I went back. And so to kind of delay the return to campus from March 2020 to August of 2021 felt like forever. It felt so long, and just dragging on that kind of like reunion of being on campus and being with your teammates and coaches was hard. But once we finally got there, and I was with some of my classmates and we were making new connections and we were rebuilding the team atmosphere that had been like kind of on the lull for the past year and a half because of what the state of the world. I felt like we were all just so dedicated in rebuilding it and making it the best ladies class that we could like ever be, because you're just all so excited to be there. And one of my roommates this year, actually, who also took a gap year, Emmy Myers, who you mentioned, we were in our room one day and we just kind of like folding laundry, just talking. We talked about the season and we were both like, I don't know about you, but like, I kind of feel like just kind of in my soul, in my body, my heart, I can feel something special is going to happen this year. And we were both just like, yeah, me too. And I don't really know what that's going to be, but like, I just feel it. And so we went through conference and we won conference, which was amazing. It was so nice to have all the ladies there with us and we all got to hold that trophy together. And then at nationals, we knew it was going to be a tight race. I mean, our coaches had done all the statistics and shown us all the graphs and blah, 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 what will happen if this happens, what happens if this happens, and all the turns the meet could take. But we also know that once you're in it, anything could happen. So we just took it session by session, race by race, and everybody did what they were supposed to do or better. And so did the other teams too. That's what made it crazy. We all outperformed our projected scores. And so on the last day, Emmy Myris won the 100 freestyle. So she got her first national individual championship. And that just kind of set the tone for the last few hours of the meet, the last, I don't know, I guess it was like 2 or 3 events. She shook everyone to their core. We were all crying for her. I mean, out of love and support and happiness. And then we got to the 4 free relay, which was like the deciding factor of the meet. We had to get minimum 6th place to pull out with the championship. And we placed 3rd. And so at the end, I remember some people were asking us like, oh my God, how like amazing did you feel at the end of that relay? And we were all just kind of like, we felt like it wasn't like a moment of like screaming and jumping them down, like celebrating. It was almost a moment of peace. Like, oh my gosh, what we had been working for since March 2020, since we were being recruited to Kenyon in 2016, 2017, 4 or 5 years later, it's like the book has closed. Like things are just like happy, good, where they should be. Everything we've done has been worth it. The gap year was worth it. So the moment we found out we won it was almost like the world went silent for a second. And I just like stood there with my 4 or 3 other relay members, and we just kind of hugged and like looked up at the stands of our teammates and parents. And then once we were all on the stage with all of the team, what was it, 15 of us holding that trophy. It just kind of happened so fast. Things just started snowballing, and it was like, oh my God, we have to take pictures and we have to jump in the pool and we have to have an interview. And it was kind of just like you kind of blacked out because it was happening so fast. But yeah, I would say things felt peaceful. I don't know if that's like what most people would say, but personally for me, it felt like, like we did it. We really did it.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. Sorry, long story short. Yeah.
No, that's a great answer. We love the open candidness, and especially when we get to talk to student athletes who just won a championship that they've been chasing their whole career. For you individually, what's your favorite event to swim and why? Because you've had excellence in so many different events.
Oh, it's a good question. I would always say the 200 IM when I was in high school and kind of beginning of Kenyon career. And then I really started to love the 200 backstroke because A, you can breathe the whole time. And then B, it just like, I had a really good strategy that I would say in my head that just kind of like made me feel confident about the race. But then honestly, as I got older, like junior, senior year, I really just started to love the sprint free relays. So the 50 free and the 100 free. And also the 100 fly. God, I can't make decisions. But if I'm going to focus on one, I'm going to say 200 backstroke for the reasons I said before. You can breathe, and I have a good strategy that I believe in that usually makes it work for me.
To build on that, you've won so many championships and so many All-Americans. Is there one specific event or one championship that you're most proud of because of the work that you put in to achieve it?
Ooh, it's kind of like, if I want to think individually versus on a relay,
and it could be part of a relay. Maybe you made an adjustment in a relay to, cut seconds off your time over, your 4 years.
I mean, this year, all of our relays, they were on fire. They were so much fun to be on because every single person, again, did what they were supposed to do, but better. So we just were like living on cloud 9 every single time a relay came up to the blocks. But I feel like one of the ones that I was most proud of is actually my freshman year 400 medley relay. We actually went into finals seated first, but we knew like the people next to us were like Emery and Dennis, and they were going to come back strong. So were we. We were ready, and it was a really, really, really hard battle. We kind of started at like 5th or 6th, and slowly worked our way up. And then the butterfly and freestyle legs just kind of took it to the max, and I think we out-touched someone who was in like lane 4. One or two lanes to the left of us. But that was the only relay win that year, and my first relay win as a Kenyon lady. And I just remember watching it back and seeing the team on the sidelines, people were going crazy. Like, it was absolutely insane. It was definitely like the most rowdy meet I'd ever been to. So that just like sticks in my mind forever, just because it was like the first team win that I had experienced at Kenyon. So that one definitely has good memories.
Well, included in your impressive career, you're a 3-time finalist for the Honda Athlete of the Year award. You're a 19-time conference event champion. And something that we should note for our audience is that while you are in the sport of women's swimming, the women's at-large division for this award, it's very, very difficult just to be an academic All-American, let alone the academic All-American of the Year, because the at-large division includes 14 possible sports: beach volleyball, bowling, crew rowing, fencing, field hockey, golf, gymnastics, ice hockey, got to count here, lacrosse, rifle skiing, swimming, tennis, and water polo. So quite an accomplishment on top of just being an academic All-American, because it's really difficult to compare sports like that apples to apples, for sure. And for you, what advice can you give to other student athletes, regardless of what sport they may be in, on balancing excellence in both athletics and academics?
I have found that since I've been swimming, which was like probably sometime around kindergarten or first grade, so for quite a bit. But once I kind of got into school, so like middle school, having tests, and high school having standardized tests, and then college having, your major tests, like every level of education I've been through, I've thankfully had swimming to be there with me. And I think that without realizing it, swimming has built a structure into my life. It's built a schedule into my days. Like, I know I have to wake up at this time to go work out, and then I have to eat afterwards or before, and I have to go to school, and I have to do my work because I have swim practice here. So it's made me just get used to a schedule that I need to follow, because I'm going to be doing that schedule for the next 365 days. So no matter what sport you're doing, out of all the ones you just listed and all the ones that exist out there, really, like, your sport is more than just like a time to train hard and be with your friends or push yourself. It's also there to just like give your life structure and give it a way to, schedule around it. I definitely would be much more disoriented, disorganized. Maybe not even, I don't know what my student life would be like, but it's definitely helped me more than I realize to build a regimented schedule into my days. So I thank it for giving me that and allowing me to be the student that I have been. I know it's not just swimming. It's me, my brain, and how I work. But without it, I definitely think I would have had a lot more messy days, and maybe even lazy. Who knows? But yeah, it's definitely underappreciated, I'd say.
Well, now that you've graduated, what are your future plans post Kenyon? And we'll see you back in the pool again.
So yes, to go to the swimming question first, with taking a gap year and being a 23-year-old senior, I was like, oh my God, I'm a little too old for this. But I know I'm not. And we did the year, it was successful. It was a great time. But I think during that gap year and training by myself, I was like, oh God, can I really train by myself like after I graduate? And I know I don't have to. I can like join a club or a master's program. But I think the fact that we ended on a team championship together after all these years was just like the perfect ending to my swim career, like I could have ever imagined. And so I definitely am just kind of like taking a break with the sport, because I'm so at peace with it and what it's given me and all that we've accomplished. So as of now, I'm not swimming, but I wouldn't be surprised if I find myself on the pool deck, either training or coaching in the future, just because I can't stay away from water for that long. It's been in my life for way too long that I depend on it. And then other question, what am I doing right now? I have, because of COVID and because of what it did to us, it kind of canceled all of my internships that I had in line for the past 2 summers. So I'm doing an internship for social media, which is kind of what I have been doing on the side this past 2 years, besides being a swimmer and a student. So I'm helping manage social media, basically.
And finally, again, we always like to give our our winners a chance to thank those in their life who've helped them achieve this national distinction. Who would you like to thank in your life that helped you reach this milestone?
Oh, goodness. Well, besides everyone that I love and care for, like my teammates and my coaches and my family, I want to give a special shout out to my grandparents, actually. My grandparents, Ann and Essie. They are actually my neighbors. I'm looking at their house right now through the window. But I don't think I would be at Kenyon without them. They helped financially support my academic and swimming endeavors since I have ever been a swimmer and been in school. And they definitely helped my family support me at Kenyon. And I want to say thank you to them for everything that they've done to just help me get to this point, and for showing up at every single swim meet since I was 6, 7, and each buying their own heat sheet because they each want to take their own notes on which split each person does. So they've just been my number one fans for forever. So special shout out and thank you goes to my grandparents.
That's a great answer. And we appreciate you, Crile, for taking the time to talk to say. It's wonderful talking to you, and we congratulate you on being voted the 2022 CSIDA NCAA Division III Women's At-Large Academic All-American of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.